One of the most common motorcycle camping questions we get, particularly from new campers, is one that a lot of people are actually afraid to ask in person, and that is, how do I go poop while I'm motorcycle camping? While I understand that this is a source of anxiety, I'm here to tell you that for motorcycle campers, it is not as big a deal as you think. Hikers have to worry about digging cat holes and packing out their waste, but on a motorcycle, we have a lot more options. Here's a fact that will hopefully alleviate some of your anxiety. I've been riding dual sport and adventure motorcycles since 2017. I've done 3 BDRs and countless nights in the backcountry, and I have dug a hole and pooped in it exactly 1 time. And that was because of a miscalculation on my part, because we were sitting at a restaurant in town about an hour later. So if I just waited, I would have been fine. So let me ease your mind and help you unclench your bowels. Let's talk about options for going number 2 while riding and adventuring on your motorcycle. Option 1 for going poop when you're far from civilization is the easiest. Just don't do it. On motorcycles, we are frequently at this place called the gas station. We can't ride for more than a few hours without getting gas. So as long as you're moving from place to place on your trip, you're gonna hit the gas station once or twice a day. Those gas stations tend to have bathrooms. So even if you're out in the middle of nowhere traveling, you are eventually gonna have to duck back into civilization to get food, to get gas, supplies, things like that. And if you're doing that once a day, that's typically when I take advantage of any facilities that I can find. You have to get over any qualms you have about gross rest stop, trailhead, or gas station bathrooms, because it's a lot better than digging a hole in the woods. If you're willing to take advantage of those opportunities, you can avoid having to go poop in the woods at all. Option 2 is when you're camping, camp at a campground with toilets. Most campgrounds will have some kind of toilet unless it is a dispersed campground or just something out in the middle of nowhere. If you camp at a campground with a vault toilet or even flushing toilets, then you can just do your business as you normally would in the morning. You might have to fight some flies. You might have to clean up a vault toilet seat now and then, but it still beats digging a hole and pooping in it, or even worse, pooping in a bag and taking it with you when you leave. So I like camping in campgrounds for this reason. I like the picnic table to put my stuff on. I like a fire pit because I can have fires longer into the year than I can when I'm dispersed camping. And I like knowing that when I wake up in the morning and want to take a grumpy, I can do that by just walking out to the outhouse, sitting down, doing my business as normal, no digging or other preparation necessary. So if you try to end your motorcycle adventure days at a campground or even a hotel or something like that, you'll always have facilities. You just have to plan ahead a little to make that happen. You don't even have to plan that far ahead, because even on BDR trips, I just start looking for campgrounds in the afternoon to see, I think we can make it to that one, and try to camp in those places whenever possible for this reason. Now, options 1 and 2 are not always going to be available, although again, if you plan ahead and work at it, you can typically take care of most of your business either at a campground or at a bathroom you encounter along the way. But if an emergency strikes, or you're out for multiple days, or you just settled down at your dispersed site and the gurglies start happening way down in your belly, then the third option is to dig a cat hole. So here are a few things to keep in mind before you go to the bathroom in a dispersed area. First of all, you want to make sure that you're at 200 feet from any water sources, trails, or the camp itself. That's just 1, water contamination issue with water, and 2, just common courtesy so people aren't stumbling into your remains, as it were, when they're camping at that site or using that trail in the future. Once you find a suitable spot, you're going to want to dig a hole 6 to 8 inches deep. That's why they call it a cat hole. So just like a cat does, digs a hole, poops in it, and then buries it, that's what you're going to do. A couple options for doing your digging. I carry a trowel with me. This is a multi-function trowel. It's got a few other things, a fire starter, a knife, a saw. Moto Camp Nerd sells these. You can find that on the site. Or you can just grab a stick and dig a hole with that. You can also use the back of your boot, just kind of kick your heel in until you've got a hole deep enough to do your business in. Then you do your business in the hole. Method-wise, there's a lot there. You can look up various backpacking videos. You can do the squat. I like to hold onto a tree and lean back. You can sit over a log in some cases. So there's a lot of options there, but do your business in whatever way is most comfortable for you. You're supposed to keep your toilet paper separate, so use it and set it aside, or use it and put it directly into a plastic bag that you take with you. In the woods, you're not supposed to leave it in the cat hole anymore. That was the guidance years ago, but that has shifted somewhat. Then you're gonna use a stick to mix your droppings with the dirt and soil inside the hole and then rebury everything. So try to make it look like you were never there. Mixing with the dirt speeds up the decomposition, lets the natural bacteria and other things in the soil get to work on that waste right away. Then mark the spot with a stick if you can, some kind of easily discernible marker, or put a rock over the top of it so that nobody tries to dig in the exact same spot. Granted, if you're 200 feet from camp, probably that's unlikely, but it is considered common courtesy. It's a thing, a tip that a lot of people give, that you mark that spot in some way so that nobody stumbles across it accidentally when trying to repeat what you did in that spot. So that's how you go in places where doing so is feasible, where digging a hole and putting your waste in it is feasible. That's not always possible. So a cat hole is great for places with a soft soil full of bacteria that love to chow down on your waste. But if you're camping in the desert or somewhere with soil that's too hard to dig into, you're gonna have to use a WAG bag. So WAG, W-A-G, is an acronym that stands for Waste Alleviation and Gelling. You know the saying, pack it in, pack it out? Well, that applies to your poo as well. So a WAG bag is just a bag that you could either put in the hole or use in some other way. Put your waste into it, throw the toilet paper in, you seal it up, and you take it out with you. So there are places where digging a hole is not feasible or allowed. So just know, in those rare instances, it doesn't hurt to have a WAG bag in your poop kit. Poop kit, you say? Yes, that is my last tip for going poop while you're out motorcycle camping. I try very hard to never have to poop in the woods, but I also want to be prepared in case something happens. I get sick, I'm not feeling well, I'm stuck out there longer than I expected. I want to be prepared. So I have a poop kit that goes with me. It's just part of my overnight kit and my toiletries bag. So in that poop kit, I have a trowel, as you can see, for digging that cat hole. Toilet paper, which you always want to have with you. This is some small, compact toilet paper, but you could literally just take a bunch off a roll and put it in a plastic bag. Speaking of plastic bag, you need to carry one of those to put your toilet paper in when you're done doing your business. I like to carry wet wipes because it's difficult to clean up as well as I'd like out there in the woods, and these are useful for other things too, washing your hands before you eat, things like that. Washing your hands after you go poo, it's nice to have that. Other things to consider carrying, hand sanitizer is great to have in that kit, and the WAG bag itself, which I don't have in this kit because I can usually dig wherever I am, but I probably should get one just in case. Leave no trace is always the best policy when you're recreating in the backcountry, and this applies to your bodily waste. I have come across piles of discarded waste in the most insane places, right next to the river, right next to the lake, right on a trail, in a shadowy spot on a corner on a trail. You think stepping in dog doo is bad? Human doo is 10 times worse. Try to plan ahead to take care of your business where it's easiest, but be prepared for emergencies if necessary. Make sure that you check out Moto Camp Nerd for all your motorcycle poop kit needs and the rest of your camping gear. Moto Camp Nerd is your one-stop shop for all things motorcycle camping, and we have all the gear so that you can pack small and camp easy.